Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
Well, I think all of us have had experiences in our lives that we may consider traumatic. Very few of us, even adults, will say, hey, I had trauma and so I'm having a hard day. Most of the time we'll start the day in a bad mood, or we snap at our spouse, or whatever it is we do. Kids are the same, and the way you're going to see them display their trauma is through their behavior.
Sometimes kids and adults withdraw, others act out, hitting and yelling, kicking or swearing. The key is to understand those behaviors, to understand how you're feeling and move forward in a productive way. And Omaha is a national leader when it comes to treating childhood trauma, developing programs that are being shared and modeled across the country.
Last year I had some stress, but this year I bounced back. Wake up every morning, hit that flex and relax. Knew that group was fun, what we call a bounce back. We ain't getting stressed. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Last year I had some stress, but this year I bounced back. We've been working hard, using our thoughts and bounce back. RELAX, every week I bounce back. If you're a real one, then you know how to bounce back, bounce back.
Bouncing back, whether it's dancing to a rap about battling stress or learning how to relax through deep breathing exercises, these kids will walk away from elementary school with coping skills that hopefully will last a lifetime.
Breathe out through your mouth. Good. Deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Okay, sit back up in your chair. Open your eyes, okay? And let's focus and listen.
And we hope that you'll do that with us this morning as we take an in-depth look at childhood trauma and the remarkable programs here in the Metro making a difference. Good morning, I'm Julie Cornell. They are our future and our most valuable resource. But the latest research shows that 60% of all children and adolescents are victimized by violence each year. Now, that can come in many forms: bullying, sexual exploitation, domestic violence, divorce. Maybe you live with someone who's addicted or depressed, or maybe someone's in jail in your family. All those factors impact your physical health and mental health as an adult. But often children with untreated trauma or mental health issues are just ignored. And before long, they start to exhibit the signs and symptoms of trauma. They might have nightmares. They might be irritable, have trouble concentrating, become depressed or anxious. Only about 20% of children with these behavioral and mental health disorders get the help they need. Well, not in the Omaha Metro, though. As we mentioned, we lead the country in tackling this problem head on, thanks in part to the work being done by Project Harmony and its Connections and Bounce Back programs. In the next half hour, we'll talk with their communications director and also 2 clinicians from a specialized school that's specifically designed to help children with mental health and behavior issues. It all starts with understanding that trauma does happen and it affects people differently. We need to reevaluate the way that we define it.
The number one thing we want people to learn is to ask that question. Instead of judging or labeling and saying what's wrong with you, to ask the question, what happened to you?
And earlier this year, Project Harmony held a regional conference to train adults on how to recognize children who've been abused and get them the help they need. KETV Newswatch 7's Naya Gonzalez was there for it.
Get up and climb, you were born for this moment to shine.
Who said conferences were boring?
Hey, I'm caught in the middle of a hurricane of pain, so pain.
But entertainment isn't the main goal. Derek Clark is a motivational speaker and trauma survivor. He's rapping about the brutal abuse he experienced as a child. Hoping to create change, he shared his story.
And I'll never forget this image. When she finally let me go, all the skin on my hand came off in one big clump in that sink.
But first of all, we have to understand what's going on.
This is San Francisco-based pediatrician and researcher Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris. She says we now know that early trauma and abuse can cause physical health problems later as adults.
Difficult, stressful, or traumatic experiences that we have as children literally get under our skin and change our biology. And they can increase risk for things like heart disease, cancer, stroke, even Alzheimer's.
Project Harmony is training people and connecting with children to prevent child abuse.
We've got a school-based program called Connections, that's in all of the metro schools, responding to kids that may have been exposed to some kind of trauma or in need of counseling and support.
Dr. Burke Harris uses something called the ACE test at her clinic, which helps her assess a child's needs.
And what that allows us to do is understand which of our children have higher risk for certain diseases and do early intervention.
Because early intervention is key to saving a child's life and turning it around. I'm Naya Gonzalez, KETV News Watch 7.
And joining me now is Angela Raber, who's the Communications Director for Project Harmony. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
So this Trauma Matters Omaha initiative, this is huge.
It is huge, and it's one of its kind. The Trauma Matters Omaha initiative is a collaboration of individuals and organizations across 6 counties in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa.
And what is your goal with this? Is it so that people are just more trauma informed?
We really want people to be trauma informed as well as trained on how to respond to trauma. So our goal is to train 22,000 people in the Omaha metro area. And that 22,000 is 5% of the Omaha metro area's population, which is the tipping point for change.
Who are we talking about here? Law enforcement, teachers? Who needs to be trauma informed? Is it just all of us?
It is all of us, but we are working where we have a concentrated effort on first responders, as well as organizations and institutions within our community and the general public.
Right. Did something happen that kind of triggered this, or did you just see the need?
I mean, there is a growing need as we are seeing more and more students maybe acting out with school shootings, school violence, if you will. Mental health is a huge component in that, and we really need to recognize and respond in a very trauma-focused way. Not, as you heard Deb mention earlier, not looking and casting judgment, but really approaching each situation with what has happened to you versus what is wrong with you. We really want to create a more safe, supportive, engaging community for everyone in our community, young and old, to flourish.
So you're focusing on training, and then you also want to kind of put your finger on the pulse of the community's mental health, and so you're using this ACE score, which I think is so fascinating. Tell us about that.
So ACE stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, and the ACE survey is a series of 10 questions that really is used to identify certain situations that you may have experienced as a child, and then the higher one's ACE score, research has shown the likelihood, increased likelihood of risky behaviors, chronic health conditions, even early death. Wow. So if we can identify this early, we can provide the early intervention and prevention services necessary to kind of prevent any further destruction.
So what Trauma Matters Omaha is doing is trying to encourage people to go online, go to the site, and actually take the ACE test and answer the questions for yourself.
So Trauma Matters Omaha, the website, is really designed to provide resources and education around what trauma is and how we as a community can get behind this, but also as an individual, finding out what our own ACE score is, and then reaching out and receiving the appropriate services.
Once you find that score, you might realize, wow, this really makes sense. I didn't realize how much your past or your mental health in childhood may affect your health as an adult.
Yeah, over 70% of American adults have experienced at least one of the 10 ACEs. So I know as adults we'd like to say, well, that's not me, this has nothing to do with me, but we're all impacted by trauma. Absolutely. And there is this misconception of what trauma is. When people hear the word trauma, they usually think of a serious physical injury, like a head injury. But trauma is so much more than that. We've got interpersonal violence, social violence, natural disasters, chronic social stressors, and then there's childhood trauma, which is abuse, sexual, physical neglect.
And just because you have a high trauma score doesn't mean you're damaged. It also can be an indicator of your resilience.
We are all resilient. With the appropriate supports and community connections, we are able to thrive.
So let's talk about that. You are now in the schools. Tell me about Connections and Bounce Back. How many kids will be impacted by this?
Well, the Connections program, we are going into our 3rd year at Project Harmony, and this is a voluntary program based on parent consent. And with the growing need for early intervention mental health services, Connections was created to really detect as well as confront trauma and mental health concerns in children K through 8th. So Bounce Back is one of the evidence-based treatment models, group models for elementary students who have experienced some sort of traumatic or stressful situation, providing them the tools and resources to cope appropriately and to handle those stressful situations.
And I love it. We actually shot in one of the schools, and here you see the children in a group setting. They're sharing, and the therapist is kind of guiding them through some techniques for relaxation. And I remember some of the kids saying, gosh, everybody has something, you know, and I think that's just kind of a relief for a kid to hear, right?
Yeah, I think it is really reassuring to know that they're not alone and that there are people here to support them and the resources that they can turn to.
Are you finding that being in the schools and being visible is really helping to solve some of these issues earlier?
Yes, we are. I mean, we're able to not only provide students with the tools necessary to cope and to handle their stress in a more productive, more constructive rather than destructive manner. And by doing so, then we're able to prevent any further situations from occurring.
Right. Who's funding this effort? Because this is not cheap. You're hiring all these therapists. There's a lot of time spent with these kids in a time where mental health is being cut across the board everywhere.
Yeah, well, the Omaha community is a really generous community, and this initiative is being funded by some private funders and resources within the community because the statistics are sobering, and a person with 6 or more ACEs can die nearly 20 years earlier on average than a person with none.
All the stress that trauma can cause, I had no idea. It seems like weekly there's another wave of violence, sometimes in schools. You know, we don't like to talk about it, we don't want to hear about it, but do you see this program as maybe a prevention tool?
Yeah, Connections is a prevention program. So when we are able to provide early intervention services, we're able to provide the coping skills for a child to manage their stress in a more constructive way rather than destructive way, so that they don't have to turn to violence or any sort of risky behavior.
I think by being in the schools too, it's a chance for a teacher to say, hey, this child's exhibiting some signs. Let's see if we can get him some help.
Definitely.
Right?
So we're not casting judgment. We're not, you know, we're not labeling any student. We're not saying that this student is a bad kid. We're saying that this child needs some help and some resources, and Connections through Project Harmony is able to link those children and families to the appropriate services and programs so that they can thrive.
You are being so proactive, and you're doing wonderful work at Project Harmony. Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
Well, it's time for us to take a break. When we come back, we're going to keep talking about childhood trauma.
When parents find us, they are literally broken. They don't think anybody can help them. They are used to being criticized.
Up next, the local treatment program giving parents and their children hope for the future. You're watching KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle. Welcome back to KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle. Well, this morning we've been talking about childhood trauma. Maybe you know a child who bites, kicks, or screams, doesn't follow directions. Those behaviors can be a sign that something happened to them when they were young, and that changes the way that they respond. And it affects the parents too, who often feel helpless, run down, and defeated. But there is hope and help available.
Hi, buddy.
Hi.
What's up?
Good.
Let me see. What you got?
Her life is full. Tori Sorensen adopted 4 children through foster care, including Jaden.
Did you do all of your work today?
Yeah.
This is his school.
We're gonna go to the playroom.
Jaden grew.
You ready?
So did dangerous behaviors.
Running across streets, trying to get away, being aggressive with the other kids.
Much of that fading away with targeted mental health treatment and therapy at a place called Daybreak.
And what kind of words do we use?
Nice.
Nice words, yes.
It's a specialized school wrapped in behavioral health services for 2 to 10-year-olds.
I didn't have hope when I brought him to Daybreak the first time.
A physical therapist, Tori became Jaden's permanent foster mom when he was 18 months old. He'd bounced between 7 different foster homes.
It absolutely makes me sad. And Jaden had a rough start. He had lots of different placements before he was a year old.
We know now that early trauma, even before a child can talk, has consequences.
Early trauma is a terrible thing. It affects the brain. It affects the brain's ability to control impulses.
Trauma causes stunted growth in that early frontal lobe.
It affects emotional and attachment issues.
Show me your super calm walking feet.
Daybreak teaches children and families calming skills, coping skills, and ways to reinforce positive behavior. In a peaceful classroom, these students create storm clouds.
Mason, good job being super focused.
There's tons of praise for keeping their messy hands to themselves and staying on task.
When parents find us, they are literally broken. They don't think anybody can help them. They are used to being criticized.
Parents take part in treatment, learning tools along with the children.
It's not something you can just take your kid and go drop him off and say, here, fix him for me.
Therapists work one-on-one with their 8-year-old during the school day.
High five. All right. He has made tremendous growth, both socially, behaviorally, emotionally.
I didn't know if it was going to work, and I have a lot of hope for his future now.
Weathering the storm cloud of parenting with a sunny outlook, learning that treating trauma takes time.
There's no harm in saying I can't do it by myself.
She has a beautiful family. Joining me now is Robin Hauser, Clinical Director at Daybreak, and Michelle Oberly, who's the Director of Daybreak's Day Programs. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Robin, tell me, what kinds of events or issues do you see that can cause trauma in kids?
I think what most people think of, physical abuse, emotional and physical neglect, parents who have been incarcerated, children growing up with parents of substance abuse or mental health issues, just lack of stability, consistency, predictability.
Moving around too much, not having a routine, right?
Correct.
And Michelle, I understand that trauma kind of manifests in infants and kids in different ways. I'm trying to understand how a baby who's not verbal can feel trauma.
I mean, they feel the effects of what is going on around them.
The stress.
Yeah, the stress of the situation, and I mean, they can have problems with not gaining weight. They can be failure to thrive. They can be very colicky babies. They can stop responding to people who are trying to care for them.
Or if there is no one coming when they cry, right? Over and over and over again. Unchecked, we talk about trauma impacting the growth of a child.
Yeah, it really affects their ability to meet those developmental milestones. And so you see children who are stunted at young ages, and so then they have to compensate to try and relate with their peer group. And so you start seeing those behaviors, and you start seeing things that maybe look outside of the norm.
So if they're behind in speaking, they're going to have frustration in their communication, and everyone around them is going to be frustrated, right? What's the best way to help kids? I guess it depends on the child, right?
It depends on the child. I would say the resiliency. Children can experience trauma if they have people in their lives that they know care about them, events in their lives that help build that resiliency, and teach them that those trauma experiences are not normal. That's not how their life is supposed to look, and having providers or caretakers or other people in their lives that show them what love and consistency and those common expectations of them being safe can provide.
Do we see this a lot in children who are in foster care because they're moving so often?
Absolutely. And a lot of what is difficult with the foster care system is lack of communication and knowing even what this child's story is. As you heard, the child has been in 7 different foster care systems and placements. So how are you supposed to know from one foster care to the next what this child's even experienced, or even at an early age what they have gone through?
We're so concerned about confidentiality that we forget about the child's needs, right?
Absolutely.
Does trauma physically change the brain, Michelle?
Yeah, it can cause a lot of problems with the brain. They can have just physically a smaller brain. It can cause enlargement in different vesicles in their brains, which can cause memory problems. It can cause an underdeveloped frontal lobe, which is where all the control is. So it can cause a lot of problems for them just daily to function, you know, appropriately in a school setting or in a daycare or even in their home.
Sure. Can the brain heal, or can you change back?
It won't change back. Once the damage is done, it's done with that toxic stress. It affects how the neurons develop, how the brain is acting together. It can heal for sure, developing those healthy neurons and those pathways, but it won't go back once that damage has been done. That's what's happening.
What I know too is that a child's brain is so I don't want to say plastic, but elastic, that they find new pathways to learn new things, right? So there's not all hope lost when a kid has had, you know, a crummy childhood or a crummy start, right?
And building that resiliency in those developmental years is what will help that child. Once you hit puberty and you haven't had that chance to have those healthy experiences, that's when we start to see deficits.
Our little guy that we saw here in the story, he's got a fresh start. He's got a new chance. He's learning rules, he's learning a routine. That's all going to help heal him, right?
Yes, and he's learning self-regulation, how to manage his emotions and communicate his needs in ways that are acceptable, not acting out behaviors.
How do you treat trauma at Daybreak? I know there are different levels of care, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there are, we have outpatient services, we have intensive outpatient, and we have our day treatment program. And a lot of what we teach the parents is the parent-child interaction therapy skills, so helping them with positive reinforcement.
Here, Michelle, we're having a little problem with your microphone. Why don't you put that on? All right, there we go. So a kid comes in and you're going to assess them. You're going to say, you know, really check their background and find out what their needs are, and it's all individualized, right?
Yes,
absolutely. Yes, we have a treatment team that is, we meet weekly. It's the teachers that are there in the program. It's the therapist. The treatment plan is developed by the therapist, guided by the therapist. So using the PCIT, but we also have our therapists trained in Circle of Security, the ACEs, the TFCBT, EMDR. We utilize all of these different modalities to be able to make it individualized for that child.
Well, because not every kid is going to work well with a certain system, right? You got to figure out what makes them tick.
And triggers.
Right.
What are their triggers?
That's true. Okay, I noticed all the kids there, they're not wearing shoes, they're in socks. What is it? Is it so they have those soft, nice feet?
Sometimes. Yes. Yes, and children who are, that they tend to elope or run, that helps slow them down a little bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we see the behaviors, and that's why we have them with us. So obviously having safety measures in place too, to help with if there is kicking and things like that. It doesn't hurt so much.
I noticed too that you have special little sort of timeout booths. How do you use timeouts? Is it effective?
Yes, it can be effective, you know, depending on how you use it. But we give children the chance to do a timeout in, you know, the environment that they're in, so in their classroom first. And if, you know, that's just not working and they need, you know, more space, or they're becoming distracting to the other kids, or, you know, they're going to be at risk for harming themselves or others, then we have little timeout, what we call rooms, but they look like a booth, where they can go and then they can have their emotional meltdown, and they're not going to hurt themselves and they're not going to hurt anyone, and there's a staff present for that.
Right.
And then when they're and then when they're ready to go back, you know, they have calmed down, we can see that, and then we take them back and they can join their class
fresh and learning some tools to be happy again, to find that happiness. Thanks, ladies. Sorry about your microphone.
Thank you. No problem.
All right. When we come back, we'll have some final thoughts. First, we'd love to hear from you. You can email your comments to news@ketv.com. We'll be right back. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle. We spent the past 30 minutes talking about childhood trauma, not only what causes it, but what groups here in Omaha are doing to treat it. And as we mentioned, there's a move right now to expand this beyond children and get the entire community involved. It's called Trauma Matters Omaha. So if you live in this 6-county area, they'd like you to take a quick confidential survey. It'll help you understand the trauma that you might have experienced and find healing. We have a link on KETV.com, or you can just Google Trauma Matters Omaha. And remember, if you missed any part of this show or you'd like to watch it again, it's online right now at KETV.com. Go to our homepage and click on the menu button and then look for Chronicle. I'm Julie Cornell. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next Sunday morning for KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.